Hey y'all, I just want you to know that sometimes just listening is the highest form of respect that you can show someone. You don't always have to have all the answers, you don't have to always have advice, but just creating a space and validating someone's actual story and feeling is sometimes the best thing ever for them. And so I just want to encourage you, if you have a story to share, hit me up, call me up. We will schedule a podcast, we'll give you a platform, give you some time to share your story. Because just know that somebody needs to hear that. The hardest part of your story that you don't want to talk about is probably exactly what someone else needs to hear. And it'll also help you start the healing process, because people start to heal the moment that they feel heard, when they feel seen, when they feel validated. So how is your dad?
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He just retired again from another, government contract job. So he's doing pretty good, man. He's chilling. My dad is pretty laid back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I remember about him.
He has a rambunctious streak.
Is that where you get it from?
I think I do too. Like, I have a really calm, intellectual, level-headed side.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have an almost gangster criminal side.
And the intellectual side, I feel like, is what sticks out to me about you. And then you were just super vocal. And then almost, I'm going to dare to say, you were giving me Kevin Samuels vibes on your views about women.
Oh, I think Kevin Samuels is like an unspoken hero, because I feel like Kevin Samuels actually told women the truth. Like the hardcore truth about how men view them. A lot of people don't understand my mentality. It's really it's almost Malcolm X-ish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a negotiating mentality, because we grew up on a modern day slave plantation. That's the way I view Faith Tabernacle.
Didn't you write a book about this? Or maybe it was just something I read?
I wrote a paragraph about it,
Okay.
that got a lot of buzz.
Yes, that's what I remember. What
paragraph. And I just told the truth, you know what I mean? Exactly what Ellie Westberg was, the way I viewed him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I didn't view him as no man of God. I didn't view him as anybody but a white supremacist. Mm-hmm. And I viewed him that as an early age, because my grandmother was a Black Panther. So It doesn't matter what he said to me. My grandmother always put, like, real, like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Muhammad. My grandma put that in my head.
Okay. Huh.
So
what prompted the paragraph for the most part?
Say again?
So what prompted you to write the paragraph? Did something happen, or you was just,
No, it was just like, my sister. See, I seen my sister go through a lot of things.
Oh my God.
And my sister wanted to be my sister was trying to be, she was the most perfectest church girl growing up. And I know that's not a word. I have to do grammar. But she was the most perfectest, I'm making up a word, church girl growing up. You know what I mean? Like, she got all A's in AA. She never was in fornication. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She wasn't in any of those things, and they still hated her. Mm. And I know my sister. You know what I mean? She was like, she did everything they told her to do. She even went against my dad. She wouldn't watch TV. She will go against our own family over church was something I would never do.
Yeah.
So my sister did it because she really believed in it.
Yeah, she was really like, we all thought she was gonna be a preacher.
Yeah, she was really like the most devoted you can be to a church. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my sister, she never and I seen how they still hated her, how they still attacked her.
The time she really needed people.
They didn't care that she waited till she was married to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care because that was a big deal, right?
Oh,
Don't have sex before marriage. You know what I mean? That was one of the biggest deals. So my sister didn't do that. She got married. She had all her kids by one guy.
Mm-hmm.
She did all that. She got all A's in school. She was salutatorian. She really should have been valedictorian. They didn't want to give her black ass salutatorian. They wanted to give it to Chris Ruiz.
I remember
so I've seen
that.
the racism in Faith Tabernacle from her early age. I think I was privy to it when everybody around me wasn't.
Okay, so hold on right there. When you said salutatorian versus Chris, do you think that's because she was a girl, or you think it was straight racism?
Because she was a girl and because she was a black woman.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They just didn't want to see. If you look at Faith Tabernacle, they don't want to see black women do anything. That's who they the harshest on. They even harder on black women than they are on black men.
Yeah, the hair, all of that.
Women look fucked up in Faith Tabernacle, bro. Every single rule is aimed at controlling and suppressing black women.
Wow.
You know, every single rule. You look at the rules, all the hairstyles that they say was a problem were
black hairstyles. That's a fact.
Yeah. every style of dress was dresses like they didn't want like curvaceous dresses because it accentuated the black woman's curves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So white women sit up and they're jealous. You really what y'all battling with is white women. Because white women is mad.
I don't even know if it was the women so much as the men that were getting enticed maybe, and they didn't like that and they didn't want to be honest about that.
No, but white women don't like that either. You got to think about the slave dynamics. You know what I'm saying? White women nobody hate a fine black woman more than a white one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? White women got that shit too in their head. Like they see they white men looking at black women. See, Black women don't know this kind of shit, like, cause they are so beat down as far as in terms of confidence and shit that they don't even know what their value is. You know what I mean? So they like a lot. That's why a lot of black women, like, I love black women to death, but they kind of like, I love all women, but they just kind of like, they just don't really wear a crown correctly. Okay,
so you really generalize that whole statement. Like, there are some black women who do wear their crown correctly.
No, there are. There's plenty. Like, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing is my idol as a black woman. Tamika, I think her name is Tamika Welch. Well, anyway, she was like she's right now today, she's a really strong young voice as far as, activism is concerned. Shahrazad Ali, of course. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black women that I look up to, and I value what they have to say. I learned a lot. Like I said, my grandmother, first of all. Like everything I know about a lot of subjects is from my grandmother.
Okay, so I have another question for you because I know you have such a strong opinion. You didn't marry a black woman.
No, because of my environment. Like, I've been with black women, but my environment dictated. Like my woman she's not non-black. See, a lot of black people, they don't understand what blackness is. Like, my woman is Polynesian, and they are African. If anybody know what a Polynesian is, they migrated from Madagascar and Somalia.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they populated the Hawaiis, the Tongas. There's actually islands out here in the Pacific Island called Melanesia. You can look that up. That literally means the Black Islands. Because everybody, Fijians, a lot of people us as black people, we only think American black people are black.
I mean, I know there's a whole lot of people, non-white people, that have a lot of ethnicity in
not non-white people. I'm telling you, people that immigrated, like people that are directly from Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like Ethiopians and shit. Like, they're directly from the motherland.
Yeah, and all of them look different.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't have, you mean the phenotype of a black woman, like what a traditional black woman would look like. But I just think black people got to be a little bit more internationally minded. My wife, she's not black, she's Tongan, but they are of African descent. You know what I mean? She's not white.
Okay, so when
You know what I mean? So
when you say that black women, some of them that you know are not wearing their crowns correctly, do you just mean they lack confidence, or what do you mean by that?
Nah, like, well, say it again. Sorry.
The part about them not wearing their crowns correctly, does that equate to them not having the confidence you feel like they should have, or are they just not representing?
They do it like black women. They got all the smoke for black men. You know what I mean? But I don't think they have no smoke. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like the Me Too movement or the R. Kelly movement.
Okay.
Like, okay, R. Kelly. R. Kelly, first of all, you remember R. Kelly. I was young when R. Kelly came out. You remember when R. Kelly married Aaliyah? Mm-hmm. Did nobody have nothing to say about that?
And they should have.
All of those people around him was around him when he married Aaliyah. And they act like they didn't see nothing. His wife still married him after he married Aaliyah. The record label still. So we looking at this situation as if it's like we trying to make the black man the face of child molestation when we know that white men are the face of child molestation. According to FBI data, according to every single measurement or metric, no one does more sex trafficking than white people, Caucasian people. No one does more sex trafficking than Asian people, traditional Asian people. They literally, they sell vagina. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, that's mostly, they don't sell hair, they don't sell food, they sell vagina. Yeah. Let's be real. So we looking at, but every time something negative happened, like Bill Cosby or something, 30, 40 years later, the black man is always attacked and crucified. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be. I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying he shouldn't go to jail. I'm not
equal punishment though.
But what I say again?
It's not equal punishment though.
It's not equal. It's not even taught like in the way black women, like they attack and make documentaries about R. Kelly. These same black women will sell their daughters to an old white man. You know, because I'm living out here essentially in Hollywood. So I see the full picture.
So who was
the
dude that had the island? What was his name?
Yeah, Jeff Epstein. Yeah, that's a perfect. This nigga trafficked millions upon thousands of little girls to a private island for old white politicians to do God knows what.
Horrible things.
We here talking about R. Kelly.
I mean, but technically, it's the same thing. It was just done under our noses.
No, it's not the same thing. Let me tell you the difference between women loved R. Kelly. Women was beating down R. Kelly's door. R. Kelly was the greatest artist in the world at one time. If you ever seen R. Kelly live performance, he got molested on stage by women. Women pulled down his pants. That wasn't happening to them old white men. But I mean, you gotta think. You gotta think about the different levels of temptation. Let's be real.
Yeah.
R. Kelly could go on stage and stand there, and 100 women would grab his private part.
Well, yeah, he's an artist. Yeah.
No, okay, yeah, he could just stand there. Like, he didn't have to do nothing. If R. Kelly walked in a room and just stood there and let out one note, he would get raped by 20 women. He wouldn't even be able to do nothing. They'd put a gun to his head and say, strip down right here, nigga. You know what I mean?
Right.
You telling me that's the same thing as a man literally gathering all his little money together like a mad scientist and creating a private jet escort service, massage service, and flying out little girls as soon as they turn 12.
Yeah, and then he had a woman.
These bitches is getting smuggled. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not like these white men can't just go stand in the crowd and have it would be different.
Right,
so the levels of that's not the same thing.
Yeah, they were willing participants.
The act is wrong, but R. Kelly he beating women off him with a stick. They out there hunting, pursuing, and targeting,
manipulating
children.
Yeah, they were grooming some of them for years.
Yeah, for years, and got away with it till they were 90 years old. That's the same thing with Bill Cosby. You look at Bill Cosby, how they crucify Bill Cosby.
Yeah, his whole legacy. When they took the star up, I was like,
first of all, that was 40 fucking years ago. They did all kind of things 40 years ago that's not normal now. If you talk about the 70s, like you got Mr. Timms there, or Pastor Timms, or Deacon Timms, I'm not sure his title, but he'll tell you, because he was around in the 70s and 60s. We wasn't really.
Right.
But they was doing all kind of stuff in the 60s and 70s, like popping psychedelic pills. They had a different culture. Mm-hmm. They had like Woodstock, hippie stuff. They had orgy houses. They had all that stuff like in the 70s and the 60s and stuff. Yeah. Ask them. Ask your daddy.
Yeah. Well, Herbert,
you know what I mean?
Coming out of St. Louis, I don't know how much of that he was, he was into the music scene out there.
No, I know he was into, but think about him being into the music scene in the 70s.
Yeah, man, bell bottoms and platform shoes and the ruffles.
Yeah, they was doing all kinds of stuff. They was snorting coke. They was popping psychedelic pills. Mm-hmm. They was doing all kind of strange stuff in the 70s. You ain't never seen Soul Train?
Yeah.
They was all high. Just look at them. It was all high, man, out their mind, man. So it's like, but 30 years later, now we want to come back on Bill Cosby because of all his success. You see, they don't want these black men to pass their wealth down. So when they see them about to get out of here, they start trying to attack their wealth because they don't want it to pass down to another black generation.
Yeah, they try to destroy their legacy.
So they talking about, you've been rich long enough, but you ain't passing this shit down. And then and out of nowhere, they get 30, 40, 50 women. Okay, and here's another point about that. You really think that a black man, a popular celebrity black man, can get away with raping white women in the 60s? I mean, just imagine that. Think about Emmett Till. Think about all the little ashy niggas that got messed up for nothing, for walking down the street.
That wrenches my heart. Like, I hate that.
No, I'm just saying, think about the little young black boy just walking down the street and like, hey, and then get snatched up, beat, hung for nothing. And then imagine Bill Cosby getting away with raping 30 white women in the same era. You see how black people just believe anything?
It's definitely a discrepancy, for sure.
Yeah, black women too. Black women that jump like, yeah, Bill Cosby ain't nothing. Yeah, he ain't this, he ain't that. Yeah, R. Kelly ain't nothing. Meanwhile, you got like hundreds. You got Donald Trump over there at the, and I kind of like Donald Trump, but he was over there at Epstein Island.
Yeah, like
you know
Clinton
what I'm saying?
And like the rest
like Bill Clinton, all the people that black people love and adore. Nigga, L.E. Westberg could have been over at that Epstein Island, and the black women in Faith Tabernacle would still say he's the man of God. And the black men would still run to the corner when he said go to the corner. How embarrassing that is.
Disturbing, absolutely.
You know how
you want to go ahead and tell people what that.
For a grown man to go. Ask Mr. Timms if he would go, if a white man told him to go run and put his nose in the corner, would he do it?
Would you do that?
You mean like a kid in school?
Yeah, but they did it in front of everyone in the church. They told
Bill, because obedience is better than sacrifice. Be obedient to the man of God. Hey, Brother Timms.
Yes, sir.
Get up and put your nose in the corner.
He's not moving.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but that's really a form of intimidation and submission, to that control.
Power.
As a kid, man, bro, you know how angry that made me? Like, I damn near lost my mind in church, man. Like, that was something that triggered me so deeply.
Wow, for you to be so young, too.
Yeah, as a young 12, 13-year-old church, like, bro, I wish he would ask me to go put my nose in the corner. I'm going to fight. Right here. Right here, I'm fighting. I'm just straight throwing hands. I don't even know how to express myself. I do not have the intellect.
Yeah, and then you have people would applaud that. You remember that? They would clap, when the person did it.
Oh, look,
yeah.
He's obedient.
Yeah, look at
this
there.
This old white man just told him to put his nose in the corner, and he did it without a question in front of his wife and children. Yeah. That's a Willie Lynch tactic.
Wow. And see, we don't really think about it like that, especially when we're in it. And, like when people got smacked or when they got publicly humiliated verbally.
Yeah, violence. Let's talk about assault. Let's talk about smacking grown men in front of their children. An old white man having the nerve to smack, bruh. That's why I was like, yeah, that's not for me, bruh. Because, like, y'all tripping, dog. Like, this nigga will really get shot fucking with me.
Relax.
Like,
That was so long ago.
I'm not lying.
I know we didn't trigger him right now, but no, I mean that's how he feels about it, and that's what he remembers about it as a kid. Like that's not something you want to.
No, but I mean, am I lying though?
No, absolutely not. And you know, some of those
Yeah,
people are
I'm
still there.
Like somebody, like in my mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling my dad, like, Pops, like, nigga, we got all these guns in the house, and I'm telling you right now, if I get smacked, nigga, that whole church getting wet up.
And I think
nigga, it's gonna be a mass funeral.
Stop. But you know what I feel like too, as far as a man leading their family, that's just another part of it, because a lot of men there are told what to do with their families. So
and then just look what they did. You see how they crucified Edwin Young? But I wouldn't put that past Ellie Westberg that he was his student. He was his student, his number one student. How you know Ellie wasn't in there fucking them women too? They won't say that.
I never heard anything about him in that way.
Like, yeah, nobody think about him in that way, but I'm telling you, that's how it be going down. You know what I mean? Everybody, they put that all on Edwin Young, but see, Edwin Young was actually handsome though. So he probably had a hard time, you know what I mean, not smashing the women. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure he was pursued. But
do you think though, like what you said about R. Kelly versus the old white men, they came to him, you know, so maybe he just wasn't as attractive to...
He's still wrong. He was still wrong.
Yeah, wrong is wrong, but I'm just saying.
But I'm telling you, Edwin Young wasn't no dude that just took over the church so he could smash a bunch of women.
Yeah, no, I think he started out. Yeah,
he was actually
right
a dude
place
that got pursued by women.
I agree.
I know the whole story because my best friend was one of my best friends in church. Priscilla was involved in that whole situation, and she told me the whole get down, play by play.
She is going to be on our podcast next month. We are scheduled actually already, so I'm excited to hear her story.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna tell her story for her. You get what I'm saying? But what I will say is that it's not what everybody make it seem like he was just like some sort of villainous dude. Like, and I wasn't there, so of course I don't know. But from what I heard, I'm like, it wasn't like that. Like he literally was like just trying to show love, and you know, and that's what happens when you're in a powerful position and you show love to women. Women value and authority.
But people put you there, though, in that position of authority by their submission. Because, for me, a pastor is just supposed to preach the word. They shouldn't be so involved in your personal life.
No, but you know, like, women want more than that, man. Especially from a pastor. I mean, come on now. You know what I mean? Women want to be counseled at night, late at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I need some counseling. I need some prayer, pastor. Well, damn, it's 12 midnight.
Okay.
It's okay. You know, the Lord is anywhere.
Right,
anywhere. 12 midnight time is an illusion to the Lord. You know
time is an illusion, period. Okay, so I understand you're taking the position to defend the men in this, but what about the young girls that work?
I'm not defending. See, this is the problem. You trying to make it binary. I'm not.
Okay, so you didn't even let me finish what I was saying, though. My point is, if there is a young girl who's been abused by her father and she goes to this pastor for counseling and he in turn starts abusing her himself, that is predatory behavior.
You don't have to, like, I'm not telling you that the man is right for giving away the temptation. That's what being godly is all about. Being able to have self-control and not giving away the temptation. Duh. But like, I mean, who always defeats temptation?
Okay,
like,
but temptation to mess with a child, to me, that is sick. That is not.
The first stone.
That shouldn't be a temptation.
In the Bible.
Okay. All right.
You know, because everybody can judge anybody now. True. It's easy to judge, especially if somebody's on a pulpit and they're in a position of power.
Yeah.
Anybody can judge because you ain't never been there.
They're still human. I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, they're still human. And they didn't. And this is my issue. They did not judge Ellie Westberg for all the stuff he did the way they judged Edwin. Because
of the type of things it was. I agree.
No, because he was white and Edwin was black. That's the only reason why. They don't judge them white. If you remember, Cassandra, like really think in your mind back. You remember how Brother Ershon used to come in with jewelry and rings and shit?
Maybe, vaguely, not
you
really.
You don't remember details like that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? how white dudes could come in and they really didn't even have to follow the rules of the church. You don't remember how white dudes could marry any race?
Oh, I do remember that.
But
yes.
black dudes could only marry black women? You don't remember that?
Yeah, it's different now, but back in the day, absolutely.
No, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you got to understand, that was an oppressive slave regime. That's what that is. How you gonna say that a white man could come into church and marry any race he wants? A white man could marry a black woman if he wanted. A Spanish woman, an Asian woman, a white woman. A black man could only marry a black woman. How is that?
Yeah.
How is that? How did that exist? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. Black men should marry black women.
I think you should marry who you love. End of story.
No, but I'm saying, I feel like, you know, I could get on my Dr. Umar kick real quick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, you know, black women should be with black men. I understand that side of things. But, you know, the black community is also very poisonous and messed up in the head, too. So, sometimes, and we also battling, like, a lot of Pan-African dynamics, too. You know, African cultures kind of butting heads with American black people, African black people versus American black people. So there's a lot of like political and a lot of international energy in the diaspora now too. But what I will say is, yeah, like I have a unique perspective because I really believe I grew up on a modern day slave plantation.
Yeah, I remember that being part of your article, and that's probably why it got so much attention, just because of how extreme that sounds, but the comparison is accurate.
I mean, everything, see, I laid it out, and everything I said was facts. You know what I mean? Like, I never deviated from any, like, everything I said was true.
And you know what?
I mean?
Can I say too that if you're a former member or somebody who, you know, used to be a part of a group, whether it's a church, a business, if they see you as bad advertising now, or you're not fitting the model that they're trying to promote, or you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, we're not going to use her, let's silence her because she is not giving us the good reviews.
But see, that's because y'all care. Y'all care about what Faith Tabernacle did. See, that's the difference between me and y'all. I don't care what they do.
Okay, so when you say y'all, are you talking about me?
Well, a lot of people do. Even people that's not there, technically, they still see themselves as, I'm just backsliding and I'm going to go back and I'm going to get myself right with God. I'm going to get myself right with the pastor. I'm going to go back and confess my sins, and I'm going to pay, 20% for the first year because all the years that I've been backsliding. And then, you know, I'm going to get myself right with God again. I'm going to pray up. I'm going to go to the altar every night, and I'm going to pray my, you know, that's really what's going through their mind, because they've been conditioned to, like, that they need that place to,
the validation.
Because they're scared to die. Because they're scared to die. You know what I mean? Okay. So they're scared of what's going to happen.
There are some people that are still afraid to speak out because they've inboxed me instead of commenting on my stuff, you know, that they have a story, but they're even afraid now.
This is mental enslavement. You know what I mean? This is mental enslavement, and plus you never know, Tim. Like, maybe the church paid a bill for them or something.
Let me ask you a
question.
So
now it's like, oh, I don't want to mess up, you know.
Do you think that they're
free lunch
afraid to speak out because of what they don't want the people that are still there, or because they feel like they may go back one day, or that they're not going to against God because they're going to burn the bridge. Okay.
They don't want to burn the bridge. Because the people, I don't think Brother Timms know, or Mr. Timms know how deep it is. Because he got enough wisdom and sense not to go to a church that's ran by old white men.
But they don't even have to be old white men to be a cult.
No, they are, but the entire system was built by old white men, because you know it used to be UPC. UPC is ran by old white people. I remember going to camp in Miltonville. You remember those summer camps?
Yes, I remember.
Right?
We had some good times there.
Inbred, cracker, white girls was calling me nigga.
No way.
I swear to God. I swear before Jesus.
I never had these type of experiences at camp.
No, they did it to me. They did it to me. First of all, a lot of the white women actually wanted to have sex with me, actually, if I really want to keep it a buck. But then there was a couple that was jealous and was like calling me nigga.
Oh my goodness. That is horrible.
So I was like, what kind of dynamic is this?
Okay, so but back to what you were saying about people not wanting to speak against it at this point. Some of them honestly feel like they just made a decision to leave for whatever reason.
Matter of fact, Brother Gene Hamilton was there. I remember he was there when this little inbred, I'm trying not to swear because I know that y'all like God-fearing people. And I'm a God-fearing person too, but I still swear. But anyway.
Go ahead, just be yourself. But, this is my show.
But, hey, that's why I'm choosing my words carefully.
Oh, stop it.
I don't swear in front of my mom, so I'm trying to give y'all a little some respect.
I appreciate it.
So this little white thing that looked like she was a product of a uncle daddy sexual relation situation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like she was an inbred, incestual organism.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. She gonna up there and call me a nigga several times. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, I'm just not built for this. Mm-hmm. Cause I really will slap this little white bitch.
Did you tell anyone? Was anything done about it?
No, I just looked at Gene and I was like, you hear this? He's like, go back to your dorm. Go back to your dorm.
Okay.
That's all he said. Go back to your dorm.
Was you in Hester Hall?
Go pray. Go pray about it. Little stupid stuff like that.
Dang.
How about that?
See, and you always wondered why you were so angry. Because I just remember you being angry all the time. And
I was an angry kid.
And I never knew why.
I was an angry, I got in so much, I used to be.
In trouble.
Anything in AA, they say, I hated the principal, Brother Carrier.
Yeah.
I hated his guts. I hated the way he talked to my mom. You know what I mean? He talked down to my mom. I noticed that he talked down to black women, even the teachers and the Hispanic ones around him. He talked to them like they were slow. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He'd be here, and then he'd be in that office all day with Sister Aubrey. I'm like, well, y'all don't got no chaperone. I knocked on their door. I'm like, why y'all ain't got no chaperone?
You wouldn't be the one to say that when I tell you.
Yeah. I'm like, why everybody else got to have a chaperone and y'all ain't got to have no chaperone?
Yeah, we definitely had to have chaperones or leave the door
and
open.
I was like, and that was just confusing me. What the fuck? I was young, but I wasn't dumb. I was like, yo, knock on the door. Tim, what you want? Hey, why y'all in there with no chaperone?
And what they say, get out.
Oh, you need to mind your business and get to class. I'm like, no, well, I want to know. Because y'all always telling us we got to have a chaperone. Mm-hmm. What y'all doing here? Leave, Tim, or you get suspended. You get another detention, something. You always making trouble. They just called me a troublemaker. You know what I mean? Yeah. They would dismiss everything I did. They would dismiss my intelligent inquiries as troublemaking.
Now that's one way to put it, intelligent inquiries, because you stayed in trouble. I remember that. But like I said, I never knew why.
In trouble. But it would be for legitimate reasons though. I would just ask legitimate questions and they couldn't answer it. One time I got in trouble because they said we had this whole spiel in 6th grade, I'll never forget it, Sister Celeste's class, about fearing the man of God. Mm-hmm. And who, of course, is L.E. Westberg, the man of God. Not really the man of God. They're actually calling him God. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Metaphorically. When they say, fear the man of God, do whatever. I'm not just a man. I'm the man of God.
Right.
They're really metaphorically suggesting to you that he's God. Yeah. So worship him. Mm-hmm. But, that's what they think that goes over people's head, but it's not. So I used to be like, I don't fear, no old white dude. Why? Why would I feel he looked like the face of Kentucky Fried Chicken?
So if he was a black dude, would it be different?
No, I know. I don't fear no man.
Okay.
I don't fear nobody like that. I wasn't really born scared.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are.
I don't know what it is. It's just not in my genetics. You know what I mean? I think I'm just come from a different black bloodline. I'm more of I got a Geechee Egyptian bloodline. And if you know anything, my bloodline is rebellious. You know what I mean? I come from a warrior class of African people. It's different.
So rebellious, I don't think is a bloodline. I think it's just a personality trait.
Well, I wouldn't say rebellious. Like, I'm just like, I don't come from like.
I'm rebellious as well. I don't think
like,
that's
I'm
a
not
bad
really
thing.
just going. Like, first of all, ain't no white. Like my dad. I never seen my dad go to the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My dad didn't let Ellie Westbrook talk to him any kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
So you had a good
He
example.
came to our house one time and my dad snatched him up by his collar and threw him against the wall.
I don't believe
He said,
that.
"Don't come to my house."
I don't believe that.
He did.
Oh my gosh. And he didn't file assault charges?
Like, he ain't do nothing. And my dad said, "Hey, bro, don't be coming to my house talking to my wife. I'll kill you."
Oh.
And my dad meant it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they were scared of y'all.
They wasn't scared. I mean, I
I'm
don't
kidding,
know.
I'm
When they started to act scared, yeah. Get scared. I mean, that's a good trait. You know what I mean? It's smart to be scared. When you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. Like file assault charter. We don't give no fuck about that.
And you know what? I think the fear factor, that wasn't just with him, but with the pastor that passed away, because Edwin put fear in a lot of people that he felt like were getting ready to talk and made everybody think they were crazy. You know, so that they would dismiss what they were saying.
They don't dismiss you as crazy. Like, they dismiss me as crazy. They dismiss my sister as crazy.
Yes.
My sister is kind of crazy. But my sister ain't just fully crazy. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, she not just like fully. Like, she just not just dumb. You know what I mean? Yeah, she done been through a lot and she got breakdowns, but she not just straight up dumb, though.
No,
you know what I mean?
She's
That's
a sweetheart. I love
and like
her.
me, and I'm like, y'all can call me crazy, because I am crazy. Everybody's a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
but
there's
I
levels
make
to
logical
crazy.
sense. So I see how people like talk about my sister and they try to make it seem like I'm like, no, because see, I can put some logic to this shit. See, there's a difference between me and my sister. Y'all can say that I got a temper. Y'all can say that I'm angry. Y'all can say whatever. But what y'all can't say is that my words and my explanations and my communication isn't intelligent and fact-based.
Yeah, you're very articulate.
That's what you
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You can say all this, he crazy, he been in trouble, he been to the penitentiary, he might have shot a few niggas, he did this, he sold some dope. You can say whatever you want to say. And I'm not saying that's true.
No, I would never judge you.
I'm actually a perfect guy. Anyway, but, you know, what I'm saying is, like, people will say those types of things to take away from the truth.
True.
But what they can't say is that I'm lying. See, you will hear a lot, but what you won't hear is that I'm lying. You know what I mean? You won't hear that I'm lying. You won't. When anybody looked at the little paragraph, whatever thing I wrote on Facebook, did nobody deny it?
Right. They just want to talk about the horrible things you did to just discredit. I mean, and that's just a tactic of lawyers and anybody who's trying to win a case. You just discredit the witness. That's what you do.
Yeah, but they can't discredit me because, like me, I'm smarter than all of them. You know what I mean? That's the one thing I always knew. I mean, I knew I was smarter than Ellie Westberg. I knew I was smarter than those white folks. And I knew I was smarter than those niggas too. You know, like the boot. You see, what you gotta understand is the only way something like that can exist is because of the black dogs. Dr. Umar had a great point. He said, whenever you come to attack white supremacy or a white power structure, you have to first deal with the black dog in the yard. So think of it as a castle. And then there's a dog. That's like Brother King or Canaveral James or somebody. I mean, there's always a black dog.
But I understand that Brother King's no longer welcome there either. That's my understanding.
Well, now, because all of those dudes played themselves. They all played themselves trying to get a piece of the throne. And then when they realized that, it's all house niggas always do that.
Nah, I can't let you speak on Brother King. I love him so much, and I think he's one of the real ones. I felt like he never changed. He stayed the same.
No, but he ran so hard for Ellie Westbrook. To me, that's not real. You know what I mean? If you watch a dude do all of those things to black women and then you still act like it's cool, why? Because you're getting a position. Why? Because he's paying you a check from the church's fund. Why? Because you want to get you a church. That's why. So then you're loyal to an evil power system, an evil dude. You loyal to an evil pastor. You loyal to a white supremacist. Why? Because it's benefiting you, and that's the problem with black people. Black people will compromise everything because we come from poverty. A lot of black people come from extreme poverty, meaning even if we don't come from poverty in this generation, it's still in our generational memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our poverty is in our racial memory.
Okay,
Even if it's
so
not in existence for us
so
today.
let me say this, and I think in my head I'm thinking about what I'm saying, but I don't know if it'll come out just exactly how I'm saying it. But I think there are some people who genuinely believe, and it doesn't matter which pastor it is, they believe what they're doing is correct. You know what I'm saying? So for them, it isn't about loyalty to the man; it's what they genuinely believe. So for them,
what I would say, if you're talking in terms of your parents, I've always admired your dad, your parents. You know what I mean? Because your dad, there are certain people in the church that they just believe in the church.
Yes.
And they don't really care about who's at the head of the church. I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that. But I also never seen your dad run and get in the corner either. So there are some people that I respect in the church.
Okay.
Like Brother Stedham. I respect Brother Stedham. You know what I mean? Because he's a real dude. You know what I mean? Because he has, this is my thing. I respect any man in that church that has a line.
has a what?
You know what I mean? A line. Like a line. A clear and distinct line.
Oh, a line. Okay. All right.
For instance, like your dad, he has a line. It's a clear and distinct line. He's very quiet. He's very humble. He's very unassuming. But he definitely has a line that Ellie Westberg wouldn't cross, or anybody does, or anybody. He just has a line.
But sometimes not speaking up is not a good thing. And I would I have the highest respect for my dad out of anybody, of course.
No, but he has a line, though. Your dad he ain't soft like that. He has a line.
No, I don't think that he's soft, but I don't think that he would speak up in certain situations where I feel like it's necessary. Because he feels like it's... No, I feel like he would not. He doesn't think it's his place. And he's told me that before. He, feels like God is going to judge him. I'm like, how come you didn't say nothing? You knew that wasn't right, Daddy. What, you saw that? And he's like, yeah, I felt like it wasn't right, but I also didn't feel like it was my place to say something. So that's my issue. You know what I'm saying? You
got to also understand this thing, though. Like, for instance, there are a lot of older black people, I hate to say it, but they're coons. Baby boomers, they're kind of coons a little bit. And I'm not saying it's about your fault. I'm just saying you got to understand a lot of older black people are sellouts. A lot of older black people act like they was marching with Martin Luther King. They hated Martin Luther King. They hated Malcolm X. Don't ever let older black people act like they was just down with the civil rights movement back in the 60s. A lot of them niggas they hate. You ever watch Boondocks?
When he was alive. When he died, that's when they joined.
Yeah, when they like Muhammad Ali and all that, you know how they talk good about it. But if they didn't like him.
Like you said, a lot of them had hatred for Martin Luther King or didn't follow Martin Luther King until he was assassinated. And then that's when a lot of other people joined on the bandwagon. But it was a lot of other people that were there with Martin Luther King that were doing much more work than he was at that time. A lot of the groundwork too.
Some of them get comfortable, and that's the era that they were born in. So, some older people still have that mentality, and they'll never change because it's just in them.
It's just in them, yeah, and that's fine. We need, I think that movie, The Black Butler, with Forrest Whitaker, and where Martin Luther King said the black domesticate is needed. We need the black domesticator, the mammy, the maid. You know what I mean? That makes white people feel comfortable enough to let their kids nurse off their black nipples that they also hate. You know what I mean? See that delusional, degenerate mindset? You know what I mean? We need the black butler. Oh, you're a good Negro. You speak well. See, I was one of those. Because I got good grades, So I was actually, to the church, I was this bad, angry guy. But in the rest of the world, I'm an intelligent, well-spoken black man.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's it. Like so to y'all, I was like this terror, but to like white people, I'm like, oh man, this guy, you're one of the good ones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You don't have gold teeth. You're clean cut, shaven, just like we like it. Come on in here.
Yeah.
We'll get you a white woman and set you right on up.
He's so
You'll be on your way. Our little affirmative action hire.
Yeah.
But they don't know what's really in me, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know how I really am. Like, I really be like, oh, me?
Yeah, that's why you can't go by what people look like. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, like, oh, me? You want me to come in? Oh, okay. You see, me, I'm like this. I don't like to talk about myself that much because, you know, I'm complex. You know what I mean? Just like you, just like Brother Tim's over there. Everybody has their own way. So I respect any man because really, this is really the goal in life. We talk about a lot of other topics. Mm-hmm. Only thing that's on your gravestone is whether you was a good mother, a good father, a good sister, a good brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that's on your gravestone. Is how your family remembers you.
Yep, people that you loved and lives you touched.
People that you love. That's the people that's gonna care. So really, that's the only thing that matters in life. So me, I'm just the kind of guy where I don't really get into what people think about me. I know a lot of people from Faith Tabernacle don't like me, or they talk about me or whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't even be remembering niggas like that.
Yeah.
Or they like, oh, like, I be hearing rumors about myself. Like, I came up to church and they didn't let me in. I'm like, nigga, I ain't never came up to church after I left. What are y'all talking about? Like, I don't come there. Like, I'm not literally, like, I don't be back to, hey, you guys gonna let me back in? You're gonna let me repent? Like, I don't care. Like seriously? I say what I want. Like, I don't care. I'll do what I want. Like, I don't think about y'all like that. But I still grew up with people that, like, even my sister is still on that to a certain degree. Faith Tabernacle was like in my rear view mirror. Like,
well, because you moved away like, too, so you really don't have to deal with it.
My sister's still dealing with that. But me, she know I don't care. I never did.
Yeah.
I never cared. And there's the difference between me and my sister. I'm the total opposite of my sister. I watch TV. I smoked weed. I got into fights. I did whatever I want to do. I had sex with girls.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna tell me I can't have sex with girls? I got an erection.
Oh my God.
She wanna have sex with me. I'm not gay. I'm gonna have sex with her. What y'all mean? Y'all gay as fuck. What you mean?
So, but what I was going to tell you, like, for us who are still living here in the city and have family that goes there, that's usually the only reason I even have to deal with it at all, is because, you know, I can't go to an event that my family's having or whatever because they were told not to invite me. I don't want to go to the church. I don't ever want to go back. But
that's called wearing your crown correctly. Queen. Yes.
I just want to go to my niece's, birthday.
I can respect you, Cassandra. Now, you know, Cassandra, actually, back in the day, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a little personal tidbit. I always thought you looked good. I would have married you, but you was a little bit too older for me. But
you act like I'm so old. Oh my
Cassandra
God.
kind of fine for real. But that's another topic. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so I just want to be a part of my family's lives.
That's really what it's about. Like, you don't. That's what I tell my sister. Like, you don't really gotta you gotta show improvement, meaning leaving, you gotta be for instance, you're doing well without Faith Tabernacle.
Yeah.
Continue to do well. This is what I tell Priscilla all the time too, because we've been friends for forever. We always talk since we've been 7 years old, 6 years old. Yeah. You know what I mean? We've been talking for that long. Our relationship is strong. Me, Lucy, Vanessa Matos, Priscilla, we all got strong relationships.
That's good.
So, what I tell them is just move forward in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Move forward in your life. Be successful. In spite of
whatever that looks like.
And then that's the testimony right there.
Yep. Because God is everywhere.
You don't have to, my sister, she feels like she got to go at Faith Tabernacle be combative. You don't have to. It'll self-destruct. If more people just leave, I don't care. Go to church deliverance. Shit. Anywhere. I would do that I would come back and go to church deliverance just because. Just to be like, yeah, I'll be in there clapping and everything.
Well,
like,
I personally
don't feel like I'll be standing outside the church like, hell yeah, this better than Faith Tabernacle. Come on in.
God, if you only knew. But
I would do that just because.
Yeah, and I know people
let me fly
change.
baby JC just to cause trouble. I'll walk the streets and be like, hey man, Faith Tabernacle trash, man. Hey man, go to church deliverance. Faith Tabernacle is not good for your soul.
But we need more real pastors.
That I had anointing on my life to be a preacher. I was like, y'all do not want to hear what I have to say.
Who told you that?
All of them told me that, man. All of them dudes. They just say that I'm fighting the anointing.
Do you feel like that?
Running away from the anointing. I just thought of it as a narcissistic mind control tactic. I was like, no, I'm just fighting you.
Okay. So you don't feel like you have a calling on your life, Timmy?
I mean, I may, you know what I'm saying? But what my calling is just to keep it real. You know what I mean? Because my preaching ain't going to be nice. If I get up there and preach, or if I say something, I'm not going to say nothing that's going to make people, like, people going to be quiet while I'm talking. They ain't going to be saying, yeah, that's right. Come on now. They gonna be looking strange in there. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness!
Like their eyes gonna be bucky.
Yeah, I think some people are uncomfortable with certain people's levels of bluntness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm blunt. I'm very blunt. I'm very direct. You know, it's how I am. It's how I was raised. It's how my parents talk to me. It's how my dad talked to me. How my auntie talks to me. They don't never, like, nobody in my family is, like, really just, like, they just say what's on it. Even my mom. My mom is quiet, but my mom is direct.
No, your uncle seems so nice and passive, though. He's very...
My uncle is direct.
Is he? Okay. I've never talked to him,
he's just
really.
not direct to you. I'm talking about amongst the family. He's direct.
Okay.
He talks a lot of shit. Trust me. Everybody in my family, they talk crazy. And they even do crazier.
It looks like your life in Hawaii is so beautiful, just living through your social media.
Hey man, it's just a place. You know, I like Hawaii. It's kind of like my peaceful serenity place. It's a place where I get my mental health together, you know what I'm saying? Where I connect, you know what I'm saying, with Earth. And where you connect with what really matters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the environment and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, where you really get to get your melanin together, you know what I mean? Like, you got to let the sun hit your melanin in a certain kind of way.
Yeah, and I think spirituality has so many different definitions, and connecting with Earth is one of them, for sure. And I think that people should explore their spirituality a lot more, because it's not always just beads and incense.
It's not... People from JC, man. People from JC, they got to travel, and I don't mean travel on some church shit. You know, with long dresses and avoiding everything that's fun because it's devilish. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta just travel. Like, you just gotta go with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just see what happens. Like, you can't just be going, oh yeah, we're not gonna go over there. I don't feel the spirit of the Lord over there.
Just living in fear.
Westward do? You know what I mean? We can't be having that.
Yeah, just the
they don't even come down here, man. You know what I'm saying? I tell my mama, they don't even come down here. You gonna be like that.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
Not enjoying it.
You see, you gonna blindfold yourself.
We used to be at Walmart and at Applebee's trying to look at the TV in there.
Man, I look straight at the TV. No, I ain't never listened, man. I don't know what it is about, man. Like, I think my experience, even Ivan, I talked to Ivan. You remember Ivan?
Yes, of course.
Me and Ivan, we talk. And Ivan, he's even, a lot of even Johnny King, like, I realized a lot of the older dudes I looked up to, like, they was so messed up in the head about Faith Tabernacle, bruh. Like, Johnny King, his little brother who got killed, Isaac King, I knew him. Well,
yeah, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. R.P. Isaac King. You know, that was sad. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like they was really like, I believe, like, because they had it a little harder than, like, I feel like my generation was special. Like like 2004, 2005 class graduates.
Okay.
I feel like we were unlike any other generation that ever came through Faith Tabernacle.
Why?
Like, cause I just feel like we came through like a storm. Like, I feel like we wasn't like y'all. Like, we were way more rebellious than y'all. Like, we broke way.
Who else was in your class? I'm trying to remember.
Me, Ricky Stewart, Lucy, kind of like Priscilla,
Okay,
Ollie
Ricky.
Brown.
Yeah.
Gloria, Ms. Ryan Rodriguez, Sade McGowan.
Yes.
Who else? Latoya, Parrott.
Okay.
Who else is in my class? Kent Holloman.
Kid
Who
look like
else
he's
was in my
doing
class?
big things
Kent,
for the
Kent
Lord.
Holloman was in our class.
Yeah.
Who else was in our class? I'm talking 04
Was
and
it Terry
05,
Morrow?
You know, Jonathan, the twins, the Rollins, Bernie's little brothers.
Yeah.
Terry Morrow.
Yeah.
Curtis Johnson.
Y'all had a big class.
Who else is in our class? Terry Morrow. Jordan Young. Jordan Young was in our class.
Okay.
Like, our class is just, it's weird because our class we just did whatever we wanted to do.
A lot of people that
Like-
you
like-
just named are still around here. There's a few that have moved away, but most of those people are still out here.
They are still out there, but see, like, somebody from my generation, you can't really, like, put your eye on them, even if they go back to church, because they have a motive. David Tillman, David Tillman also a part of my class.
David, yeah, David. It's my little cousin.
My nigga.
Mhm.
No, man, I mean, you know me, and you know.
That's my
DT is
family.
turned
What you mean? Do I
Come on,
remember
now.
him?
up. David Tillman, you know he turned up.
Yeah.
If you know, like, me and DT, we ran together, like, since we been kids, man. Like, we just used to sit back and talk, like, the stuff I'm talking to y'all about, me and David Tillman used to talk about that.
Yeah, my cousin is very intelligent. Always has been.
Yeah, we used to, like, talk about, like strategies of how we was going to regulate. You know what I'm saying? Like, how we really, like, in our mind, we really felt like we could just, like, regulate in Faith Tabernacle. Like, we could put it
World domination.
to all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we really think like that, but then I was thinking, like, you got to think about your future. You know what I'm saying? And you can't, and my mom always said, you can't die on every hill. You can't fight every battle.
Yeah, some battles aren't worth
But
fighting.
I know DT was one of the people that felt similar to me because he's a younger brother like me.
Yeah.
But he has more older sisters. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So he always felt like, man, they just gonna talk to my sisters like that. Like, you just gonna,
Yeah.
like I remember that wedding thing.
Oh.
When they had that whole wedding thing.
Gosh.
And me and DT was chopping it up about that. He was like, man, we were saying some real foul, like, we were, like, upset. We were like,
A lot of people were hurt
12 and
behind that.
11-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
We was like, man, these niggas just gonna kick your family out like that? Like, what?
Yeah. That was
Like,
crazy.
Man, we ain't soft for real. That's what I'm trying to think in my head, like, bruh.
And you know what,
like,
too?
man.
I used to feel like it was my mission to rescue my family from the cult and all that, but I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like, I mean, it's okay to talk about the past sometimes, but really my mission now is to just focus on how to make it better. Because as far as co-parent,
it's old
right?
now.
Oh, absolutely,
it's old now.
very old. But like,
it's old. We 36.
I'm
36.
40.
You gotta think I was a young kid, and I'm 36 now. So that means y'all are like y'all 40.
Don't be saying 40s.
You know what I mean?
I am 40, okay? But
yeah, exactly 40. So like I'm not that far. You know what I mean? We right there.
But we cannot deny, right, that it affected and shaped a huge part of our lives, even to be the people we are right now. We cannot forget where we came from.
But I love how my life turned out.
Yeah.
A lot of people are upset with how their life turned out.
Why
life turned out
though?
great.
You're kind of in control of your own life, so why would you?
Yeah, so like I'm kind of like I think I was correct the whole time. I'm like look at y'all life. Y'all life suck.
I mean, some people like their life, some people like their life, and that's what I had to realize.
Nah, but it's
some
whack.
people won't
You know
to be
what I'm saying?
there. They're okay
I
with
look
that.
at some of my friends and like, oh yeah, you should have never left the church. Some of my peers, I don't want to say my friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but look at your life though. Your life ugly. Like, I mean, you don't even do nothing. You just been in JC. You ain't been nowhere.
Yeah.
You ain't never been on a private jet. Like you ain't never counted $100,000. You ain't never had no diamonds.
But
like,
do
no
you
bust
realize
down
that
Rollie.
doesn't appeal to everybody?
No
Some
J's.
people don't care about that.
You don't got no J's.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh
You don't
my
wear
God.
no Gucci, nothing. No designer. You know what I mean? I'm talking about what I be saying to my peers.
But if that's how you measure success, then okay.
No, I mean, that's not how I measure success, but come on, man. Like, you ain't got no diamonds, you ain't got no bust-down rollie. Like, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got no money. You ain't never been, not you, but I'm saying, like, when I'm talking to people that's, like, talking about, like, really just trying to throw the Lord and everything. Like, I'm like, the Lord don't even love you, because if he did, he would have let you be on a private jet.
Oh, my God. But can I tell you, I don't have any diamonds either. Like, I didn't,
No, not you. I'm not talking about you, because you know I love you. You don't need no that. See, you are the jury. You know what I'm saying? The jury is in you, not on you.
I appreciate that. But maybe one day I'll get a diamond. You know what I'm saying? One day. Because when I got proposed to the first time, we didn't wear jewelry. So it wasn't about the diamond.
Yeah, that's lame. Why can't you wear jewelry? See, that's hate. That's, to me, I look at that like, why? Like, why you hating?
And I do love jewelry. So pretty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to see you shine. You know what I mean? Like, why you don't want to? Well, first of all, we deserve diamonds because we Africans. Diamonds come from Africa.
But I want it to mean something. So if it ever does happen for me, it'll be something special because it's something I've never had.
Man, ain't you? Hey, I don't want to get on your personal like on the podcast.
It's okay.
But don't you rock with my guy, Super Dave?
Absolutely. Yes.
Super Dave is my guy, you know. So
yeah, he told me y'all go way back.
Now that you rock with Super Dave, now you know what I'm saying, my dreams, my crushes has ended because Super Dave. I'm really close to Super Dave actually. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my guy. I respect him. You know what I mean? So if you rocking with him, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, Super Dave.
Thank you.
Super Dave is like he's a real solid dude. You know. When I was actually out of church, he was one of the first dudes that I hung out with. Like when I was getting out of prison, because I went to prison after when I left church, I kind of went, you know what I'm saying, wild a little bit.
Yeah, I hate that for people.
I had a wild stint, like a real wild stint, just because I was very angry coming out of church. Yeah. So, I had like something to prove. You know what I mean? Like I was just, you know, I was full of like, I'm actually great. I know God exists.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because when I got to church, like I was out of my mind. Like I just wanted like problems. You know what I mean? Like anywhere. Like I wanted anything. Like I wanted to be a gangster. All I watched was Scarface, Menace to Society. Like I literally just like psyched myself out. Wow. Like I psyched myself out that I was just gonna get rich, and that was gonna be my answer to anybody that ever questioned me or doubted me or said anything negative to me or lied on me or played with me at the tabernacle. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna be more successful than all of y'all. Yeah. You know what I mean? And however I have to get there is just how it gotta go. You know what I mean? It could be legal, it could be illegal, it don't matter.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? Can I say that when you said you went crazy when you got out, sometimes that happens to the girls too, and they just go like they've been let out of a cage. And mostly the younger ones. I think the older ones, when they leave when they're older, is different, but some of them is like, oh my gosh, normal people don't even do all of this stuff. So it's
it's like a bat out of hell. It is because like you've been restricted so long, right? And you've been walking on eggshells so long that when you leave, it makes it, in a way, it's almost a good thing because it makes you fearless.
Yeah, but then you end up doing things you regret too that follow you.
Because you feel like you're going to hell anyway. You know, some of that stuff sticks with you. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say I was completely fearless. Yeah, I had a moment and an epiphany that told me, hey man, you know, I can't do this, man. I'm going to hell. So I'm about to go to hell with a bang. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was feeling like Biggie, man. You know what I'm saying? When I die, I don't want to go to heaven. You You know what I'm saying? I want to go to hell. God would probably have me. I forgot the lyrics. God would probably have me on some boring shit. You know, no, what he say? No, this. He said, no listening to flicks, no getting my dick licked. You know what I mean? Like something about Biggie talked about that. I don't know if you remember Biggie the rapper.
Yeah, of course.
But he had a verse you gotta look it up. He's like, when I die, I don't wanna go to heaven. I'd rather go to hell. I listen to that song like a lot coming up. He's like, God probably would have me on some really strict shit. No, he said, no lighting up my spliffs, no getting my dick licked.
And just from talking to you today, I feel like everything you do it at 100%. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good trait to have.
100%. But see, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can acknowledge my wrong. A lot of things that I did, I handled correctly. And I wasn't sensitive to people's feelings, along the way. So I do, like, kind of apologize to some of my peers. You know what I mean? Because I was hard on my peers.
Yeah, I mean, you've grown, you've evolved. That's a good thing.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying that, like, in the past, like, my way of doing things, because I feel like when I talk to people from JC, like, I talk to them about what they're doing now, but the only way that we can really connect is from where we left off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, because our lives went in different directions. You know what I mean? Like,
everybody.
For instance, like, I know you from childhood, but I don't really know you.
Right. Not now. I mean, and even
Not
then.
now. Yeah, I don't know you now.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know each other now. Like, we know each other from childhood. Like, I know you from church.
Yeah.
I know you from, to be honest with you, the main thing I remember about you, Cassandra, is that you always was in, like, some sort of thing in trouble with Joe. That's really, like my strongest memory of you. Like, it was
strongest
memory. Like, happening with you and Joe.
That's
like,
funny, because we did stay in trouble all the time.
That was the rumor, bro. Like, it was like, oh, Cassandra, she got caught with Gerald again. I'm like, so what?
Oh, my gosh.
I just remember hearing that, like, so what? Why y'all care who she got caught? They're not supposed to be together.
Yeah, we used to have to stay sneaking around. And even just being with him was an act of rebellion on my part. You know what I'm saying? Now that I look back at it.
I used to be puzzled. I used to be like, so what? Like, why? Why y'all care?
Yeah.
Why can't she be with you? Like, let them do whatever they want to do. Who cares? Why y'all in they business? I used to tell my sister, like, why you care? Why you want to be with her?
Because people used to just talk me up. Yeah. Oh, you're such a good girl. Why you want to be with him? I guess he had the church reputation was a bad one or whatever.
Yeah, but
so
the girl was the bad.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not as good as y'all think I am.
I love Gerald, actually. I love Gerald's personality, man.
Yeah.
Gerald was like one of the older dudes that I kind of looked up to, because he was just a player, man. Like, he was smooth. You know what I'm saying? The nigga had waves, good hair. Nigga was tall, dark, handsome. He could hoop. You know what I mean? Nigga could really hoop for real. Like, hoop for real.
For sure.
Like, I think he could have went to the league. Like, if he really had the right
They should have had them playing ball,
I mean?
but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but no, he could really hoop. You know what I mean? Gerald just had it. He just had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an it factor. I mean, I know, you know what I'm saying, he was a player, like, probably broke your heart a little bit, but he still had it, though. You know what I mean? As a young nigga, we looked up to certain niggas, like, that had it. I was like, Gerald, that is that nigga for real.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? You can't blame Cassandra for, fucking around with a player. You know what I mean? Like, he just a pimp ass nigga.
Oh my gosh. It is funny because the mentality, because at church, you know what I'm saying, just hearing him now, how he looked up to him at this time. I'm saying, like, I'm talking to somebody else in the room. But yeah, that's interesting.
No, Gerald was like our idol.
Really?
Yeah, like us, like our generation, Yeah, Gerald was like our idol. We wanted to all be like Gerald.
He did have there was a shortage of men in our class, so we all like the same one.
I'm not saying that as you. Like, of course, you were like a queen. You feel me?
Here you
compared
go.
to all the other. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, Gerald was just. See, that's the thing. How can you blame Gerald? It wasn't like Gerald was really pursuing. They was just checking for Gerald.
Yeah, it was not very many people there, so.
Yeah, they was checking for him. Like you like I was like, how y'all gonna like make it like he a villain or something? They really checking for him though.
Yeah, they don't have that sort of perspective. But he's an amazing father. So I will say that for him, for our children.
He's a what?
He's an amazing father to our children.
Hey, Gerald is that nigga, man. And plus he ended up being like going like to the Air Force and stuff. He was kind of successful a little bit.
He's about to retire, as a matter of fact. But I will say that co-parenting has been hard because he's still a part of that church, and it has been a problem. Like, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. See, Gerald, he really let the church get in his head. See, some of the best and brightest dudes, see, that was his rebellious streak, but he just really just let the church take over. Like Elijah Fields. You looking at dudes, Ronald Nash, Brian Nash. You looking at, these are top male athletes. These are cats that could have went far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like far in life. I'm saying like these cats, y'all don't understand like the sports world. You don't understand how many millionaires Faith Tabernacle, like forget everything else. You don't know how many potential millionaires Faith Tabernacle has.
Yeah, Ron, him and Bo, Greg, who else?
Yeah, like literally athletes that was being recruited by K-State. I've seen this happen. Like I used to be with them all the time, like on some like sports, like playing ball shit. Like they used to get recruited. Brother Tim State, by Coach Grimmy, by the K-State coaches.
I didn't know they was getting recruited.
They was recruiting Gerald. They was recruiting Bo, Elijah, Gabriel Martin.
Yeah, I remember Gabriel. Me and Perry were good friends with their dad. But I mean, it was the same thing at Church Deliverance. We had a Christian school too, and the kids that went to, like regular high school or middle school, like you say, were excellent athletes. It was not a good thing to be out missing church playing basketball. It was not a good thing that you're going to be in college. So that's how they looked at it. And so you had so many. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had so many missed opportunities. I look at guys now, which you guys might not have had the opportunity. They end up they'll just go in the Army. They could have went to college and played ball. They could have, but they weren't allowed to play in high school or wasn't allowed to miss church on Tuesday or Friday nights when it may have been games. Yep. You're supposed to be in church. You're not supposed to be out playing basketball. Yeah. Now that's just how it was. So I know.
What mindset is that though?
It was there, brother.
You can't follow your dreams.
I think it's crazy because if you really have God inside of you, you don't have to be constant. That's
you can't. Okay, so they're basically telling you can't follow your dreams. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Maybe that's all. That's all. Some of us as black boys, that's all we wanted to do.
And I'm gonna go back to what you were saying at the beginning. It's a fault of the parents that allowed that leader to tell you your son shouldn't be doing this, or preaching over the pulpit, and you something come over the pulpit, your child's hearing it, the parents gonna look, everybody else gonna look at them and say, hey, look, they going against not just the church, but against the leader, so you back up off of it because it's the leader.
Not to cut you off, but if you look at it even further, with Elijah Fields. You remember Elijah Fields?
Yes, I
do. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so he got recruited by New Hampshire out of high school, I believe.
Wow.
A D1 high school. D1 college, my bad. But his brain was so messed up that he went back to church.
Oh, really? I did not know he got recruited.
So see, that's the conditioning. Like when they say there's a chicken, if a chicken been in a cage his whole life, you can open the cage, the chicken still won't leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that kind of thing. He was so psychologically messed up that he was sitting there like literally teetering on the fence, like, do I take a 4-year, a full ride scholarship worth over $100,000, or do I go to church and pay 10% of my minimum wage salary?
Wow.
I mean, these are the decisions that niggas be making.
That's
niggas
crazy.
be 6'6" with a 42-inch vertical, ready to make $500 million and change their family life for generations, but they be like, yeah, maybe I should actually go to church and repent. Sports is not the end all, the be all.
Right. And then, because I think we got to wrap this up. We're running up on an hour and a half.
Let's wrap it up.
I just do want to say one other thing, though. We talked a lot about church, but we didn't really talk about a relationship with God. So for me, that's kind of what's more important. And we ain't got to get into it. But what I'm saying is a lot of people there are told what to do. It's like robotic. Don't do this, don't do that. So they're never even given an opportunity to explore their spirit of God if they have one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not speaking to them. A man is. So I think that's where people go wrong with the whole religion versus spirituality thing. Is you don't have any thoughts for yourself. Nothing. And so...
Yeah, no thoughts for yourself. And they don't want you to have thoughts for yourself.
Yeah.
But I said all this to say, listen, since we wrapping it up, listen, anything I said, I never meant to offend anybody. I do have strong opinions. Everybody I grew up with, I have a lot of respect for. I wish everybody the best in their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope everybody has success, that they find peace, joy, love, happiness, all of the fruits of the Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
In their life.
Thank you for listening to another episode on Tony DeMare Podcast, Experience, Strength, and Hope, 785-307-4662 on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.